Okay, so starting sitting upright with your legs straight away from you, grab onto a TheraBand and let's show how to loop it around your ankles.
So if you keep it straight, go like that and then cross them over on the opposite sides of your feet and then bring it back towards you. That
Perfect.
should create a nice strong bind.
So then you've got the hand holds that you're holding onto, but if you don't have those, just loop them around your wrists or fists, whichever you prefer. Sitting upright, pull your tummy into your spine, keep your arms straight, and then slowly rolling down towards your back. So you may want to have a little pillow set up here like what we do, so as your head gets to the bottom it can rest on it. That's not entirely important if you don't want it, but just generally curling one segment at a time, pulling the stomach in, trying to avoid as much movement through the hip flexors as possible. If you feel the front of your hips coming on, please try and dig your heels down into the mat as you roll up and down. We're going to see if you can do about 20 of these assisted roll-ups. If you come and do Pilates with us in the studio, this is the same exercise that we do with you sitting facing towards the tower, holding onto the wooden pole, rolling up and down. So the TheraBand is going to act as those springs that are going to help bring you up and down from a laying to a seated position. If it's too hard to get all of the way down, please don't go the whole way. Only go a third or a half of the way. You'll still be working your core. If you need to have a break at any stage, please do. Try not to use your neck too much. Is that getting close to 20?
That's 10.
10 more to go. As you just saw, George is finding that she's shuffling forwards and back. That is normal to an extent. So you might find that you just need to reposition yourself every now and then. Good, a few more to go. And once you've finished the 20, sit all the way up the top, and we'll just do a quick little rotation stretch side to side.
Do we need this?
You will for the next one. But if you want to do the stretch first, whatever's easy. So one hand behind, stretching around to the side. Use your leg to help counter. Deep breath in and out. And same on the other side. And breathe in and out. Okay, and back to the center. Hold back onto your loops. You're then going to roll down halfway, drawing the abdominals in. Hold that position and then open the arms out to the side. We're going to do 10 of these. Making sure your upper traps aren't doing all of the work, that it is coming from between the shoulder blades. Once you've done 10, sit back up, have a little roll of the shoulders, and then we're going to roll down again. So roll down halfway and hold. Then you're going to do a bicep curl. So 10 of these. And And once you've done those, sit up again, and we're going to do another set of each of those. So for these, you should be feeling them through your arms and your core. Stop if there's any back pain or neck pain. Quick roll of the shoulders just to loosen up. And we'll do one more set of the biceps. Okay, and sit up and have a little break. Do whatever stretch that you need. We're going into some more arm work with the TheraBand next. So for the next one, Georgia's going to demonstrate them in a kneeling position, both sort of sitting down on her ankles and kneeling up high. You can do them in this position, but just make sure you've got the TheraBand in a good position. So you may actually prefer to attach it onto like a banister or a dining room table leg, anything like that that's going to be firm, that's not going to move while you do this exercise. You can also get TheraBand equipment that you can put around door handles or underneath doors. Just make sure it's not going to move too much. So we're going to do a bicep position first. So slowly bending the elbows, bring the forearms up to the shoulders. We'll do 20 of these, so you should be feeling it through the fronts of the arms. Okay, now we're going to go serve a platter. So bend the elbows so the forearms are in line with, yep, that's it. And then straighten the arms out, bend the arms, and then lower the hands. Good. So imagine as if you're bending and then holding onto a tray of something, and then you're straightening that tray away. Good. I might get Georgia to just sit side on, so keep going if you're at home, just so you can see the arm motion and how she's got it looped around her ankles. Good. So if this is way too easy for you, please have the TheraBand attached to something a bit further away so there's more tension onto the band. Again, if you do Pilates with us, these are exercises that you would have done on the reformer, either kneeling or sitting on the box. So we're just trying to replicate this for you at home. Once you've done 20 of those, we're going to go into an arm elevation. So now you're going to have a slight bend in the elbows. Start with your arms by your sides, and you're just going to bring your arms straight up in line with your shoulders.
Front or side?
Front. Good. And just turn your arms around so your palms are up. There you go. So again, this one you should be feeling through the biceps and the fronts of the arms. Making sure your shoulders stay equal height. So your arms should be feeling a little bit warm by now. Have as many breaks as you need during these. You can have a decent break in between each set too if you want. Okay, now arms out to the side. Again, slight bend in your elbows. So arms up in line with shoulders. Little bend in the elbows and then bringing the arms forwards as if you're hugging a tree. So this you should feel working through biceps, fronts of arms and rotator cuffs and in between the shoulder blades. If you feel it getting up too high through the shoulders, through your traps, please stop. Have a little roll of the shoulders, have a break. Last one with the TheraBand is your diamond press. So bringing your hands onto your forehead, hands overlapping each other. And then you're going to straighten the arms away from you. So this one you should feel a little bit more into your triceps. Good. Twenty of these ones as well. Please have breaks if you need. There we go. 10 more to go. Drop that TheraBand, bringing one arm across the body, using your other arm to pull it further, and let's go into a shoulder stretch. Holding for between 20 and 30 seconds. And same on the other side. Now we'll go into a tricep stretch. And swap sides. Okay, well done. Let's go into some lower body work next. So I'll get you standing and we're going to go into some squats. So ideally, feet hip width apart. Yep. So George is going to stand side on just so you can see the position of the hips in relation to the knees and feet. So when you're doing a squat, the main thing to try and aim for is if you're sitting back onto a chair. You don't want your knees to come forwards over your toes. So let's try and go into a squat now. So sticking the bum out, good, and coming back up. I'm just going to change this camera slightly so you can see her feet. So ideally, knees staying as far back as possible. Some people find it actually more beneficial to do this sort of hovering over a couch or a bed. So if you do feel a bit unsteady or unbalanced, if you fall, you're just going to sit on the couch. You can always start with quarter squats or half squats as well. We're going to aim for 20 of these here. If there's any knee pain or ankle pain, please stop. Ideally, you should be feeling this through your glutes and hamstrings. As you go back up to a standing position too, you can always squeeze the glutes to make it a bit stronger as well. And then you'll know you're feeling it in the right position. Okay, now I'll get you to squat down and we're going to do some pulses. So squat as low as possible and I want 20 quick pulses up and down. Again, watching those knees. That's a bit better. Sorry, a bit harder as well. So you should be feeling this through the glutes. Good, stand up once you've done 20, shake out the legs if you need. You've got 2 more sets of those pulses. Good, standing up, little shake if you need, and then 1 more set. Making sure the back's not arching while you're doing these. We don't want the back to take over the work from the legs. Okay, now let's go into some lunges. So staggered stance, 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind. Lifting the back heel, so you're balancing on the tippy toes, and slowly moving downwards, so your back leg the knee is trying to touch the ground, but keeping it in line with the hip. The front leg doesn't go forwards in front of the toes either. So we're going to see if you can do 20 on each leg. But if you do rather split that into sets of 5 or 10 and do multiple of them, that is completely fine. Okay, swapping legs. So again, making sure that back leg is moving in a downward position in line with the hip. Have breaks as you need, we're nearly there. Hold on to something if you need for balance. If you need to readjust your position, please do. You'll feel that your legs might move a bit as you're starting to fatigue as well. Well done. Let's go straight into a quad stretch. So standing, holding onto something, bending your heel towards your buttocks. Holding for between 20 and 30 seconds. And swapping sides for me. Well done. Now let's move down onto the mat, and I'd like you in a side plank position on your elbow. So elbow in line with shoulder, feet staggered, so the top leg have the foot in front of the other, and I want you to lift up into a side plank. Reach that top arm up high. I then want you to bring that top arm forwards, slight rotation in the upper body, and then reach it back up, trying to rotate back slightly. Good, we're going to do 5 of these. So you should be feeling this work through the upper body and core. To make it harder, you can go onto a straight arm and balance on your hand, and swap sides for me. So remember, top leg in front of the other in a staggered leg stance. Elbow in line with shoulder, lifting up into your side plank. Reach the arm. And come down onto your back after you've done 5. One leg up at a time to tabletop.